Hey everyone, welcome back to another Board Game Co. paid preview. I'm Devin, and this is Exoland. Exoland is an upcoming Kickstarter that is all about balancing the solar system. The box that the game comes in doubles as the catch tray for all of the crashes and the broken solar systems that will take place in this game. And then balanced on top of the fulcrum is the solar system. So there are 8 planets that surround the solar system here. You have the star in the middle, and then you have these gridded lines that go out, and there is a reason why those are there. They not only kind of show you the progressive movement out, but they also help you kind of mentally do the math of the crash factor of whatever move you do. And the crash factor is the particular weight of the spaceships, which go all the way from 1 to 5. And if you put something that's heavy in the middle, then obviously it will help stabilize and balance wherever you're at. But the further you push something, depending on its weight, and the heavier it is, the faster this happens, the much more likely you are to upend the scales or the balance of the solar system and potentially precipitate a massive cataclysmic event. And so the heavier that an object is, the more likely it is to cause dangerous, precipitous problems the further out you get. Now I'm going to try to balance this as well as I can for what is supposed to be this video. Boom, that's it. That'll work for me. And every single player in this game, I've got the 3 other players set up over here and my example player in front of me. Every player has 3 ships of 5 different weight classes, totaling 15 ships in all, and there are 2 ways to win this game. You can win this game by either getting all of your ships placed out successfully, which do not count any that crash that's not your fault, and it goes in the recycling bin. Anything that has been placed successfully counts towards that victory of getting all of your ships out. Then the other way that you can win is if you at any point control 7 of the 8 planets by either touching their light side or risking it and going on their dark side, then you automatically win. In the other situation in which you get all your spaceships out, you give everybody else an extra, like a final turn to see if they can match that. But if you ever get 7 of 8 planet tokens, you win. And the planet tokens are over here. You've got your kind of control station where you have some anti-gravity rings, you have your little Martians, which count as wild cards almost in terms of their weight, and they can count anything from 0 to 6 if you want them, but then additionally, they're kind of weighted as one of the middle counterbalances in terms of the weight displacement on the board. And then you've also got these black hole singularities or anomalies, and these black holes are kind of your penalty markers. If you ever have 2 of these at one time, you're eliminated from the game. This game runs 2 to 4 players, and it runs 20 to 40 minutes. You can play multiple games in a row if you want to create a series out of it, but let me just kind of give you a sense of how you play this game. So on your turn, you have a couple of options. The most typical option is your mission cards. And so there are 5 of these, and I'm just going to shuffle them up to where I don't know which one I'm pulling. And I'm going to draw this, and this is a 6. This means I need to place a weight value of 6 somewhere on the board. Now this doesn't have to, there is no ship that is a 6 weight value, the highest is 5. So the point of these mission cards is that the cumulative weight of whatever ships you're putting out there, or the number, matches equal to this mission card. So if I have 6 as blue, I could take a 5 and I could take a 1 and I would need to place them out there. Or I could take 2 3s and that would be fine. Or I could take a 4 and a 2. Or I could take 2 2s and 4, and 2 1s if I want to take a lot of ships out of there. So the point is you can create the dynamic of what you want to place out there based off of the requirements of the mission card that you have in front of you. And if you can see on the front of the box and on all sides of the box, there are the locations where you can slot in completed missions to where you go through your whole hand of missions and then you redraw them. So if I'm going to show you an example of what I think makes the most sense, I'm not going to use 2 3s because there's nothing on here, and I really want to make sure that I create a steady start for both myself and then subsequent plays, even though other players will take advantage of it. So I may actually start with this 5 and this 1. I'm going to put the 5 relatively close to the center to where it can create that pitch. That pitch is exactly what I'm looking for, because now I can place this 1 possibly all the way on the dark side of the moon. And if I do that, then that means that I get the planet token. I've placed it touching the planet. I get Raya. And so I'm going to look real quick and I'm going to take Raya. Of course, it's the furthest one away from me. That means I've successfully done that. But because I played it on the dark side, I actually get to draw a bonus mission, which is a 5. So that's a lot. And now the next thing that I want to do is I want to create another opportunity for me to get another planet. And so I'm going to place this 3 here, which looks risky, but it's going to allow me to possibly get this 2 all the way over here in the dark side. Oh, so that makes me get Vega. And we get Vega, and then I get a bonus mission, and I have a value of 3. So I'm going to play this safe. I'm going to play just a 2 and a 1. I'm going to play this 2 right here in the center, and then I'm actually going to play this 1 over here on the asteroid ring because that allows me to grab one of these bonuses. I'm going to get a anti-gravity ring, which the cool thing that I haven't even shown you yet is I've just taken a single turn, and I've had a successful turn. I got 2 planet tokens, and I got quite a few ships out there. But the thing that you want to keep in mind is you can stack them. You can stack them, and you can see that because the storage state of the game is that the planets are stackable. You can stack them on yours. You can stack them on other players. So, for example, if the pink player gets a square, then they need to add up to a value of 4. What they could do, though, is they could just place a 1 right here, and anytime you place it on an existing stack of 1 or more, the only number that you count is the top one. So if I place this 1 right here on top of this 3, that completes this mission. I have successfully gotten a value of 4. Now, I could have done that differently. I could have maybe decided to go, I want to place this 2 over here on this 1. That creates a 3, and then I'm going to place this 1 right here on Hydra, and then I get Hydra. And so I'm going to take Hydra, and I'm going to grab it, and Pink's now got Hydra, and they get to draw a bonus mission, and ooh, 6. So that's a lot. Maybe I want to play this as safely as possible, so maybe I'm going to get one of my 5s out there. I'm going to lock it in, and then maybe I'm going to get a 1 and stack it on top of that to just double down on that weight. That's 6. I've already got myself a planet, or I could keep it where it's at, and maybe I want to do the same thing that Blue did, and I want to go on the asteroid belt, which lets me get a bonus, and now I've got this free Martian, which kind of counts as that wild card. This game will progress across this entire fashion until someone meets the end state, or until someone induces a crash of the solar system. If someone makes a move that is ill-advised, you have to reset. The solar system crashes, and all of the ships that were inside here will go into your recycling bin. And again, you can play these ships if you want to, but they do not count against you when you're trying to place your ships. And then whoever caused that gets one of these penalty markers. And again, if you get 2 of these, you're out. So green did not have a good turn. They made a very stupid play. I mean, they made a stupid play so that the audience could learn, but they made a stupid play. And then you go ahead and you reset everything, and you can get started again. And there we go. That's good enough for me. And so that is how Exoland works. You go in turns and you're completing your missions. If you get to the point where maybe you've got all of your smaller ships out there and you actually don't think you can effectively complete a mission, there are some actions instead of taking missions, like trading. So maybe I have a bunch of 1s out there and I need those 1s back because they're very versatile and they're low weight and they give me a lot of flexibility. So maybe I'll put out a chonky blue in the center, and then that will allow me to pull all of these 1s back off of the slots where they were on the board, and I'm able to then bring them back to my dock, my space station, where I can then distribute them out in future turns. And that is part of the strategy of this game. These anti-gravity rings, they nullify the value of whatever's on there. So if I put that on there, I could put another 5 on there, and it still just counts as 5 if I'm completing the mission. And that allows you a lot of versatility in terms of where you can place stuff if you have these rings that nullify the quantity or the value of the stacking that you're doing. And as I mentioned, these can just be 0 to 6 values that help you meet higher end requirements on missions, and maybe also just give you the balancing that you need to, counterbalance whatever move you're doing in the solar system. And then the planet tokens are king of the hill. It's area control up for grab. As long as people are moving around and getting those, they're competing for the second of the 2 winning or in-game objectives, which is 7 out of the 8 planets. This is Exoland. It is a wonderful little dexterity puzzle, and I think that once you get into the mindset and once you realize that you can play on other people's stacks, that you can influence the value of stacks, that you can create counterbalance moments, but those are only retrievable or gainable once you use the asteroid belt, then that means sometimes you're placing for planets, sometimes you're placing to negate whatever an opponent is doing, sometimes you're placing to set yourself up for more nuanced or strategic turns later, and sometimes you're just trying to make sure that the solar system doesn't fall over because it's got stuff absolutely chock full of spaceships all throughout the concentric rings and around the planets. There are ways to get rid of these penalties. I know I said that if you get 2 of them, they're out. If you ever get a ship or a black hole dangling off the edge of the map like that, you can return a penalty, which makes it easier for you to stay in the game. But as far as how to play, that should be enough to give it to you. If you ever go through all 5 of your missions, you shuffle them up and then restart and use them again. So you do that until somebody meets one of the 2 requirements for victory and the game ends. This is Exoland. It's been another Board Game Co. paid preview. If you guys have any questions, let us know down below and we will have the necessary links so that you can know what's going on. All of the regular disclaimers as usual. If you can't see from the quality of my camera, these are 3D printed prototypes. So, the in-game production will be different, but hope you guys enjoy, and I know that I had some fun playing around with this. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.